Hey everyone, and welcome to your 25th C# tutorial, and this is also part 2 of the car mini project. And in this tutorial, we're actually going to make some new files with classes in them, and that's why I have this up here. Now the first thing we want to do, I want to change this namespace name right here to vehicle. Namespace vehicle, let's go ahead and hit Control S or just hit the save button, whatever, so that the Visual C# will recognize that you've actually changed the namespace of this, because if you're working in another file that you have open within the same project and you're referencing namespace class inheritance or namespace vehicle, then this, if you don't save it first, then program.cs, this file we have here, still thinks it's called class.inheritance since you haven't saved it yet. So then therefore the rest of the project thinks that, and it'll give you an error message, and you'll be hitting yourself upside the head wondering what's going on when you're accessing namespace vehicle. So the next thing we want to do is we want to come up here to the top, and where you see this little like piece of paper with different colored dots with a star, it says add new item. You want to hit add new item. I'm sure if you just click on it, it'll do the same thing. And you want to make a class file. Now at the bottom here, at the bottom here, it will ask you for the name, and I want to name this class. I hope it'll actually name the class that. Name it motor. And so now we have namespace class inheritance, but I actually want to change the namespace of this to parts, because we're going to put multiple parts in this. So we're going to make a class for the motor, a class for other stuff in different tutorials. But first we need to come over here, and under these using statements we need to do using parts, because that's our new namespace that we created in the other file. But let me go ahead and save that so that this doesn't think that we're being weird, and save that as well. Okay, we're actually done with this for right now, I think. Yeah, for right now we are. We're going to work in this motor class first. So the first thing I want to do is make some private variables. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes to see what I wanted to add exactly. Now this motor class is going to demonstrate a has a relationship versus an is a, because we're in the class car, we're going to create a motor class with different variable types. So first we want to create add a motor class. Okay, so motor name, so private string motor type. I don't want to do motor name. Private int num cylinders, and then private type V or straight. If I want to use a V engine or a straight engine, and I think there's more types, but I'm just going to go with V or straight. So we're actually going to do I want a Boolean? No, that's private string motor, let's see, type. Okay, let me go back up here into motor name. Motor name. Well, V8's not name. I guess we'll just leave it, that's fine. And then private string gas type. And also, actually, I'm going to put this one under the car class instead. That sounds better. Okay, so now that we've done that, what I want to do is come into, ooh, wow, I really shrunk that up. Close class program for right now, and then under class car, we actually want to make a motor, let's just name it motor, and then just do that. And then in here, we want to actually add more parameters into all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep referencing back here. So we have motor name, number of cylinders, and motor type. So first we're going to go with motor name, then number of cylinders, then motor type. So motor name, string motor name. You can't actually see that. So let's move this over here a little bit. Okay. Int num cylinders and string, oh goodness, motor type. Let's see, where does that actually leave that when I move that back? Okay. And there, now you can see all of it except for a comma. That sends in all those parameters, and there's errors at the bottom, obviously. So then what we want to do is we're going to do motor equals new motor. And now, did I actually, oh, I forgot public motor. Sure. Okay. So now that we've created our constructor method for this motor object, we're going to say motor equals new motor. And so this is what a has a relationship is basically. It's when a class that you're using has an object from an object based on another class in it. That means it has a motor in it. I think I'm gonna stop it in a minute. Let me go ahead and put some of these parameters in. Motor, and then we're gonna say send in motor name, num sil for number of cylinders, and motor OCD, motor type. And what this is going to do when I finish that constructor method is it's going to send in, call the constructor method like we've already done in the other past tutorials, and then it's going to set motor name, send the motor name over, then the number of cylinders, and the motor type. So we need to make sure we do this in the correct order, and it's the same order as we have here. So we have string motor name, num cylinder, int num cylinders, and string motor type. So we don't actually need these here unless we upgrade the car and change the motor, but we're not going to do that. This isn't going to be that big of a project. So let's see. Public motor. Okay. So then we say motor name equals, let's see, this dot motor name equals motor name. And so what that does is it says this dot motor name calls the object that you're creating and saying that this motor name here inside the motor class is equal to the motor name that you've sent down. And so you can do this for each of these. This dot num cylinder equals num cylinders. And so that's how the program distinguishes between distinguishes between this motor name and this motor name is the word this dot whatever it is. And so now let's save that. Okay, so that should work now. Okay, now we actually have to go back in here and change all these to call in. So we're going to add more parameters here like we did up there. What was it exactly? String car name. Okay, string motor name. Okay, string motor name int num cylinders and string motor type. And this is going to do the same thing. We're going to send in motor name, num cylinders, and motor type. So now this will actually take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parameters and send in 6 parameters. And I'm going to do this for each of these, but I'll do that off camera, so be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've added in all these extra parameters into the constructor methods of the Porsche, Ford, and Kia. So let me go ahead and minimize those because we don't need them open anymore. Since we fixed that, We also don't need print, actually we'll have to edit print parts, but I might do that in the next video because this one's probably getting kind of long. So let's minimize that, and minimize that, and let's minimize, let's see, did I fix that? I did. Let's make sure, yes I did. Okay, so save, and then minimize that. Now what we need to do is come in here and fix these. So what is the first one that we have to add? The motor name. So I'm going to add in some, actually I'm going to do this in the next tutorial, guys. Thanks for watching, and just keep waiting for the next one. See ya.